Hello. In the last video, we derived some pretty important formulas called the power-reducing formulas. I'm going to write that up here because I realized I didn't do that in the last video. Reducing formulas. We found that cosine squared of x is equal to 1 plus cosine of 2x over 2. And we found that sine squared of x is equal to 1 minus cosine of 2x over 2. And this is neat because we've reduced the powers on these trig functions. We've turned sine squared of x into cosine of 2x and cosine squared of x into cosine of 2x. So how can we use these further? Well, there are things called the half angle formulas that are pretty important that we will find expressly using these two formulas. So what I'm going to say, I'm just going to say that x is equal to some angle u divided by 2, or that u is equal to 2x. So what does that help us do? Let's just make these formulas in terms of u. So where am I going to write this? Let's see. Cosine squared of, well, what's x? X is equal to u over 2. So cosine squared of u over 2 is equal to 1 plus, I'm just substituting u in. Cosine of 2x, well, what's 2x equal to? 2x is equal to u. Cosine of u divided by 2. We can do the same for sine squared of x, or sine squared of u over 2. Once we substitute it in, that's going to be 1 minus cosine of u divided by 2. And you may have noticed something interesting. Now we have formulas comparing half of some angle to the full version of that angle. How can we make this even better? If we were meant to find formulas for cosine of some angle divided by 2 and the sine of some angle divided by 2. Well, and let's use even another color for this. Let me write these out. All we're going to do is take the square root of both sides of these equations. So we get that cosine, I'm bringing this all down here. We get that cosine of u divided by 2 is going to be equal to, and that sine of u divided by 2 is going to be equal to, now we're taking the square root, so we've got to do plus or minus square root of 1 plus cosine of u over 2, and the plus or minus square root of 1 minus cosine of u over 2. And these are our half angle formulas, or identities. Yeah, let's write identities. I can do that. I can spell that word. I think I did it. These are our half angle identities. And these, much like the angle sum identities, just give a form of when we have some angle. Right here we're calling it u, but that's just a variable. We could call that x. We can write just as easily that cosine of x over 2 is equal to the plus or minus square root of 1 plus cosine of x over 2. Right? It's just as easy. But now, if we have some formula if we have some angle, sorry, I keep saying formula instead of the word I mean. If we have some angle divided by 2, and we need to take the cosine of the angle, and we don't know the cosine of that angle divided by 2, but we know the cosine of that angle normally, we can find the cosine of half of that angle. And maybe that's not quite clear, and hopefully I'll be able to put some example videos up to maybe clear that up. But these are good formulas to know, and they will come in handy in simplification, though perhaps not as much as the power-reducing formulas that we learned previously. Thanks for watching.